I'm going to give you the truth about learning Spanish, and I can promise you, no te va a gustar. Hey, it's Sarah. I've been a foreign language teacher for the past decade. Check out my Spanish classes for kids over at outschool.com/teachers/Señora Sarah, or click the link in the description. Today I'll share 5 secrets about learning the Spanish language. Vámonos! The first secret to learning Spanish is there's no secrets. Everybody these days wants a magic pill, a hack, a quick solution, and I'm here to tell you, as a fellow language learner and teacher myself, there is no quick and easy way to learn a language. Learning a language is really hard work, and you are going to have to bust your butt to do it. You are not learning Spanish with an hour or 2 a week in a classroom. I tell my Spanish students all the time that the in-class time that we have together is how I introduce the language to them, but the real learning happens when they are out there using it on their own. If you want some Spanish classes with a native speaker, go to señorasarahsclassroom.com, or you can click the link in the description below. The second secret to learning the Spanish is you have to speak. This might sound kind of basic, but you'd be surprised. Most traditional language classes today, like the ones that I was given, don't give you enough opportunity to speak. There's 4 basic skills when learning a language. You've got speaking, listening, reading, and writing. All 4 are important, but the one that gets neglected the most, and I would argue probably the one that we all want the most, is speaking. And it's hard to mimic that in your traditional classroom setting. The only way to get better at speaking Spanish is to put in the time speaking Spanish. And not all of us have a Spanish speaker around us that's able and willing to speak to us all the time. Say the words out loud after your teacher, repeat them out loud, talk to yourself in the mirror, talk to a YouTube video that's designed to mimic conversation in Spanish. I know it feels weird, it's going to sound a little bit weird at first, but you've got to get those words coming out of your mouth to get used to the sounds, to get your tongue loosened up, and to get them into your brain as part of your vocabulary. I know it feels awkward, I know it's uncomfortable. Just ask the Sarah from 7 years ago who was struggling to tell a basic story to very patient friends in Veracruz. I know it's painful to struggle to express yourself, especially as a grown adult, but that is the only way you're going to get better. The third secret to learning Spanish is to stop worrying about making mistakes. Do you know why kids learn languages so much faster than us adults? Sure, they're kind of primed for language. Their brain is in that mode, especially if they're super young. But one of the keys is kids are not worried about making mistakes. A kid will just make a mistake, accept the correction, move on with their lives, and they're not beating themselves up about it. They're not worried about it. We don't start to worry about those things until we're teenagers. We have to learn how to do this as adults too. We've got to start speaking Spanish, get the words out of your mouth, fumble over the words, make the mistakes, and move on. We're going to make mistakes, and we need to start looking at mistakes as actually a good thing, as part of our learning process. We have to make a certain amount of mistakes, maybe 1,000,000 of them, before we truly become fluent in the language. So if we can start taking a positive view of mistakes instead of beating ourselves up or internalizing this shame, it's going to do wonders for us when it comes to learning how to speak Spanish fluently. The sooner you start fumbling over your words in Spanish, the faster you're going to become fluent. Is this video helpful for you? Share it with a friend. It really helps me out. Here's the 4th secret to learning Spanish. Practice with whatever you have at your disposal. Sure, the best thing would be for you to move to a Spanish-speaking country and be completely immersed in the environment. But let me tell you a bonus secret, that doesn't always work. I know plenty of American or Canadian friends that have lived in Mexico for ages and they still can't speak Spanish. Why does that happen? I have my theories. Part of it is, I think, because they're kind of still in their own little English-speaking bubble, even within Mexico. But the point that I'm getting at is moving to a Spanish-speaking country is not an option for everybody, and it doesn't even guarantee that you're going to speak Spanish fluently. What you need to do is create your own environment, even if it's artificial, where you're speaking Spanish. So that means get up Spanish music on, watch your favorite TV shows in Spanish, even with or without subtitles, I don't care. I used to connect to Mexican and actual Spanish from Spain radio stations on the internet. I would listen to their music. I would listen to the radio show hosts talking to each other in Spanish. And this helped me to build my vocabulary. Whenever I heard a word that they said that I didn't recognize, that was new for me, I would immediately either write it down or put it in my phone as a note. Even if I didn't understand the word, I would just put it down as fast as I could, and then later I could look it up. Read articles in Spanish, listen to podcasts, do whatever you can. There's so much material out there for listening to and exposure to the Spanish language. It's not only the classroom instruction, you've got to become more exposed to it. So if you don't have the opportunity to go and be in a Spanish-speaking world, make your own Spanish-speaking world. That's what I had to do for 10 years. There is no best app, there's no best method, and I would even venture out to say there's no best class. Just pick something, do it, and move on. If you get stuck in paralysis analysis forever, you're never going to progress in learning Spanish. Are you interested in seeing more content right here on the channel designed to help you learn the Spanish language? Comment below and let me know, and I might produce it for you. The fifth secret to learning Spanish is please have realistic expectations. Learning a language is really hard. Some people have a natural knack for learning a language, just like some people have a natural talent for sports, and some people don't. For those that have a natural talent for language, it's going to be a little easier, but you know what? It's hard for everybody. Yes, it was even hard for me. I remember racking my brain, breaking my head, trying to understand the lyrics to one line of a Santana or a Shakira song. Celebrate any progress that you make in Spanish and recognize how great it is, even if you think it's minuscule. If you could get out a word that you could never say before, if you could understand one line of a song, celebrate those things. Be excited about it. That's a big deal. You might even want to document your progress on a chart. Here's an idea. Why don't you pick a video in Spanish on YouTube and watch it and document how much of it that you understand today? 10%, 15%. Is this a perfect measurement? No, but think about approximately how much of that video you feel that you understood. And then come back in 3 months, 4 months, and try the same video again. Watch it again, and I know you're going to be surprised at how much more of that video you could understand. It's important to document your progress every quarter or so, not every single day or every single week, because that progress from day to day or even week to week might seem really small. But as it builds up over the course of 2, 3, or 4 months, you're going to be surprised, and it's really going to encourage you to see how far you've come. Are you interested in supporting our channel here at Señora Sarah? You can actually donate to us on PayPal using the PayPal email address you see on the screen. Or scroll down to the description box below and you can see the same information down there. If you're interested in a little cultural immersion, check out my other videos about life in Mexico City, where I've been for 10 years. Thank you so much for watching, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Nos vemos!